Hey there, Drawyah here, and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Back in the Caribbean because I absolutely love this region, and back again in something low and slow, this time in the Britten-Norman Islander, and once again, Winair colours. Yes, I mean, I've been flying the Airsoft Tornado now for a couple of weeks. I absolutely adore that aircraft. It's really got me back into the old low and slow, the old VFR flying. And, well, I say VFR flying, we're using a GMS, FMS just to get the aircraft flying, but we are basically flying visual flight plan, but hey ho. Yeah, so I thought we'd give the Islander again a flight, the BN Islander from BlackBox Simulations, and we're taking it on 2 flights today, because again the title is confused a few people, see everyone's brought up as St Barts, starting off in Saba. We're going to fly to St Barts, so again we get to fly the extreme landing, do a turnaround and fly back to Saba, which in total should be about an hour kind of both ways ish, so we'll see how it all goes, hopefully without too many delays and problems. Yeah, it should be a pretty good flight overall today. Let me tell you again, the Islander, beautiful aircraft, absolutely adored flying this thing in the past, so it'll be nice to fly it once again. Yeah, just get everything ready to go, I guess. So, in reality, Winair actually retired the aircraft not that long ago. It was like a year ago they retired the Islanders in favour for more Twin Otters. So, sadly, his aircraft no longer operate this airline, but hopefully one day in future we may see it again in time. How you guys in chat today? Hopefully you're all keeping well. Hopefully you're all in grand moods this evening. I just realised I mean right to the stream on the channel. Yeah, give me 2 seconds to quickly do that. So that goes there, and that goes there, and there. Cool. So flying the Islander, starting off in Saba, we fly to St Barts, then St Barts, back to Saba. Right, let's set our airplane up. So I have got an old checklist that I'm ready to go, so hopefully it shouldn't go without too many hitches. Start off with the lower panel, going to turn on the battery, and set the nav lights to active. We are going to head over to our AWACS master, turn on that, do a quick setup of our systems. So RMC lesson test mode, move that over to frequency. We will set the squawk box here to test mode, make sure that our Benedict's King is also responding, which it is. Back to standby you go, looking good. What we're going to do is quickly set up our GPS as well, so it's not a massive flight plan today, it should only take us a few seconds to set up. So I love the actual pixel effects the screen has as well. A lot of detail in the old Islander. Do absolutely adore this aircraft. So, let's have our flight plan. We're going to start off at Tango November Charlie Sierra, TNCS. Whoops. I can also change character, quite handy. Tango November, Charlie Sierra. So, Yancho E Yarasquin, I've horribly butchered that pronunciation, airport at Saba. Only single airway point for us today, which is going to be on bed, which will fly probably most of the way, but then I'm going to break away from that as we head over to the runway to flight plan. Yeah, so runway 10, so I'll be landing on today. So we'll set up on as a waypoint, but we'll break away from it before we arrive. Let's see 10 as the approach. So Oscar November, Bravo, Echo Delta. Into that. Arrival airport, Tango Foxtrot, Foxtrot Juliet. Tango Foxtrot, Foxtrot Juliet. Welcome Adam, welcome Axel, welcome LaserJet, welcome Gaming Junior, welcome, sorry, Yonna was it? Welcome Jacob, Juliet. Right, that goes there. So that's our flight plan set. Saba, on bed, Juliana, that is that. I'm not too bad, Lola, I'm not too bad, how you doing? Welcome channel, one chat, how you doing today, dude? I don't think there's any SIDS and stars at airports for some reason. I don't think the airport's quite large enough to host any of that. We'll get the passengers boarded. I think we're going to get rid of the crew volume as well, since there's no real crew in this flight. So, starting off at, can't every flight plan for that. Yes, we use that plan instead. So, Starting in Saba, Flight Studio, St Barts. Whiskey Mike 416 flight number, cruising altitude 5,000 feet, flight time 15 minutes on the clock, departure in approximately 5, 7, say 12 minutes, maybe 11 actually. Find the Britten-Norman Islander, BN2B Islander, with a passenger count on this trip of 8. So this is the busier of the two flights. So we've got 8 passengers going outbound, we have 7 and returning later on. There's no Wi-Fi, no entertainment, no board music, no safety briefing, no snacks, no drinks. It's a bare bones flight, it's 50 minutes or so from start to finish, and let's get boarding, shall we? Also, there'll be another little bonus on the stream as well, so we'll go to that kind of when we've taken off, because cruise itself won't get too many visuals in terms of what we're looking at apart from just water. But yeah, a little extra courtesy of a mate of mine who I absolutely adore. This genuinely came out of nowhere, so we'll go into that detail later on in the flight as well. So set that all up, GPS set, CDI set. At this point, I'm with passengers to board, which should be approximately a 15-second process, because there are doors on both sides of the aircraft. Passengers kind of enter their seats and slide in. That's courtesy of having 1, 2 doors on the left, 1 door on the right, and essentially in the Islander, the seats are designed to kind of, well, the seats fold down for passengers to enter and exit from the side. It's very kind of centre aisle, like those smaller aircraft. It is designed just to really get passengers on board as quickly as possible, off board as quickly as possible, and keep things moving from there. Been on Islander 3 flights, all with Hebridean, and I think it's a fantastic little aircraft. This, I believe, costs about £20. British flights, if I remember correctly. £20 off the what do you call it? The BlackBox simulations website. So I like it. It's generally quite well received. I mean, systems-wise, it's pretty good. Not that there are any systems on an island to simulate, but generally it has got good reviews overall. So an aircraft I could happily recommend to you. Right, so we set our frequency on ATC to 122.8, since there's no ATC active at the moment. So I don't think Saba really gets much of ATC apart from radio communication anyway. Double check on the WebEye. There's no sensors online, so yeah, it's pretty much just quiet evening in. So there's our aircraft, Whiskey Alpha 416. Departing Saba, arriving at St Barts. Pretty good indeed. Bravo November 2 Papa, which is our ICAO code, BN2P. Right, so at this point we are pretty much ready to get going. So go down to the lower panel again, we will set our beacon lights, let ground rotor for engine startup. Secure all the exits. If you can find the doors, there, that's one door. This door will then be secure as well, and then the right hand door that gets secured from here. Thank you very much. Today's flight is when you're Caribbean yourself. Oh, have you? Very good. How was that? I presume that well. So we're going to do a return flight to Saba, so we'll be landing here later on. I presume it is quite quite the flight experience. In terms of autopilot system on board the aircraft as well, once again, pretty simple on the Islander. Has got an active autopilot navigation system, altitude set up manually, but that'll be about a 5,000 feet cruise, probably not even get to 5,000, probably about 3,000 instead. Everything else pretty much self-explanatory. Speaker lights are active. Set the altimeter selector to battery, so the alternator selector to battery, which is down here, just so we can keep an eye out on the generators on the aircrafts. We are going to increase the mixture, increase the feather, make sure that the fuel is set, that's fine. About 10% throttle input for the sake of keeping the throttles rolling. Back to the FS panel, and starts the engines up. So make sure the left and right fuel valves off. Let's keep the right one on. Number 2 magneto on the right hand side set. Engine starboard starts. There we go, we have life. So keep an eye on the gauge down here to make sure that our oil temperature hits the green, the oil pressure hits the green, fuel pressure is already fine, and then the cylinder temperature will increase as we get going. I can increase throttle as well just to help get gauges up to green with the cut. It was alright, mate, so we didn't have we had quite a rowdy passenger. Ooh, okay. Sure, an aircraft for this. Was it an Islander you flew or a Twin Otter? I know they used quite a bit of a mixed fleet back a couple of years ago. Winair. They are trying to standardise and slim everything down to kind of just Twin Otters, but certainly a bit of a mix over the years. Right, soil temperature is slowly hitting the green, pressure's fine, cylinder temperature will increase as time goes on. If we bring the throttle back to about 10-20%. Ah, okay. I didn't like that, obviously. Alright, hang on, let's just increase the feather up to the max. It didn't sound like the healthiest engine in the world. Oh, there you go, that sounds a lot healthier now. There you go, so cylinder temperature already massively increasing. Yeah, that sounds a lot healthier already, cool. Number 1 magneto sets. Set the left hand fuel pump and valve. Number 2 magneto and port engine starts. Just keep on the same gauges, I'm sure everything is coming up to life. Not too many problems, that looks okay. Fluid in the island 2, gosh, rally passenger on that. I hate you on sitting next to them. Right, cylinder temperature in the green, that one's slowly increasing. Oil temperature green, green, oil pressure green, green, and fuel pressure green and green. That will boil up very slowly as the engine continues to warm up, so we'll turn on the number 1 magneto. We will lower the throttle back to idle. The aircraft should now idle without any problems. Perfect, we are good to go. So let's have our departure. We're departing on runway heading 12. So I'll be unicorn for that. So departing runway 12. No SIDs in use. Taxiways, don't think there's any taxiways for Saba, you just got Alpha really. Are they even designated taxiways? They're just kind of sole taxiway for the airport, yeah. Nothing really designated, it's just a taxiway. So, taxi runway 12, there's no traffic on the ground, which is fine. Keep an eye on Unicorn for any messages that do arrive, so I want to do small 8 sets. Parking brake released. Make a, what will be safer, clockwise or anti-clockwise turn. I think if we go clockwise, now we'll go anti-clockwise just for the sake of the terminal building. Make sure that's our taxi lights are set. It'd be handy if I could whoa, find them. 360 there. Yeah, that's slightly better. So just like get myself familiar again with the old so got nav lights, pass lights, so landing lights. Ah, okay, so landing lights, taxi lights, that's all fine, cool. So we'll hold at 12. Do a quick visual check of the runway, make sure that the approach is clear on both sides. So no aircraft visible on the left, no aircraft visible on the right. Get ourselves into position and get ourselves ready to go. So we're going to increase throttle, set the transponder, landing lights active, and pass lights as well, we're at it. Strobe lights active to zoom into the runway. And so in regards to our performance, generally in an Islander you'll find that compared to the Twin Otter, your landings will be better since this aircraft can achieve about 50 knots holding. For the approach toward the Twin Otter for about 80, which is slowest. So this aircraft will certainly hold its own in terms of its windy approaches. So runway 30, just really going down. I need to do a quick U-turn and back out the other side. Okay, we'll do that the other way then. I say, not the most familiar with this airport. Yeah, so you'll find that your landing performance in the Islander is slightly better now than the Twin Otter, but your takeoff performance in this not nearly as good. So the Islander has 2 smaller engines. I don't remember the type of engines they are, but they are less power output. It's fair enough, it's a lighter aircraft, but you do find yourself on a slightly longer takeoff run than that of the Islander, of the Twin Otter, which basically you can tell from a 2-pence. So let the throttles build up. Release the brakes and then take off one to side. No pains to pay with aircraft pilot Fisk. The Islander costs about £20 on the what's it called again? Yeah, the BlackBox website. Right, runway 12. That makes more sense. So we're just going to do a quick turnaround. Make sure my flaps set to take off as well, so we're going to load flaps into the first position. Full runway length, about 400 metres, so again, it's a tiny, tiny little runway this. Absolutely nothing in the way of going off one end or the other. Right, so I have the aircraft, passengers secure. We're looking good. I'm going to hold the brakes, bring some power into the engines. And wait for the RPM 1, 2 into the green. Aircraft sounding healthy. Let's get going. Airspeed live. $80 knots. Rotates. Heck of a takeoff this. It's a joy to fly the Islander. I really, really enjoy this model on Flight Sim. Right. What we're going to do now is set our altitude to 3,000 feet. So altitude 3,000 set, autopilot active, vertical speed increase that to about 600-700 feet per minute climb, nav mode on, and the aircraft should technically follow its flight plan onto the routing. I'm going to bring back the throttle ever so slightly, so I'm going to feather those a little bit. Continue our cruise over to St Barts. Flight time about 15 minutes or so. Turn flight in total about half an hour plus time on the ground. Have a nice flight session, virtual trip from Zurich to St Martin, and then St Barts special vacation this week. Very good, got landed this. I hope you're, well, do enjoy virtual vacation, dude. Do enjoy it. Right, so, aircraft's climbing, aircraft's in good form, passing, well, shortly passing through 2,000 feet. And again, static landing gear, nothing on this aircraft will increase at all. Flaps come up. Aircraft continues to climb, maintain throttle, we're good to go. That on the left, I believe, is the island of St Martin, which is where Prince Julian is based. St Barts should be somewhere just ahead of us. Really not going to set my GoPro view yet on the old Go camera. There you go. So GoPro view added to the mix. Right. So a little extra for today's stream. If I move my keyboard out of the way, I have to maintain both the flights and also a little extra that I've received. So a mate of mine. Basically, one day when I came out, so I went somewhere, I came back, I had a parcel. And the parcel, the envelope and everything, was all coloured in Britten-Norman colours. Like, hang on a minute, how come Britten-Norman have, well, I've flown the island in real life, I've streamed it on the channel, but where did this come into play? So, I messaged a mate of mine who is into aviation as well, and the most annoying in the world, but absolute heart of gold. Also very, very busy, so I dropped him a message. He took a couple of hours or so for him to reply. And, well, I sent him a message. It's a case of, hey, any idea where this comes from? And I have never, ever, ever received a message so quickly from him. Block capital letters, call me. So I got on the phone, gave him a call, and, well, behold. And this is what part. So it came with a full envelope, of course, all Britten-Norman coloured. Comes this like wrapping as well with it, and what I've got is a wooden Islander to put together on today's stream, which I think is an absolute fantastic little item. Like seriously, I never knew they did this Britten-Norman, but on their website they sell little model islanders. A mate of mine has decided to just ship me one. I'm like, hey, here you go. I know you like your islanders. Let me build one. So this built model islander by switching out parts by pressing together 1, 1, 2, 2, A, A, B, B, etc. Start building both engines, ensure the washers are in place, allow the plane to its wheels, and disable the rest of the plane in alphabetical order. So yeah, it's a new short flight today, 15 minutes one way. Hopefully with a return flight, I'll be able to kind of put this all together and see how it all looks. Like I said, it's just came out of nowhere. Just all of a sudden, a mate of mine's like, hey, here you go, enjoy that. So, massive thank you to you, dude. You are a superstar. This is heart of God. You honestly won't meet anyone nicer than he is. Because I met him at the Flight Sim show a couple of years ago. So one day I was at a Flight Sim show, just started talking to this random guy on the train, and well, still talking to him about 4 or 5 years later now. So we've been chatting for a little while now. Right, let's figure this all out together, shall we? So start off with the engines. It says. Let's find out anyway. That's fine. Let's see what we can do. So this is 2 washers, washer 2. Right, these are the wings. That's fine. I presume these just, yeah. So you got little bits that kind of come out. Try this one on camera as well. Here we go. Right, so these are the rear wings. That can come. No, that stays in place. There's your propeller. I'm trying to look for parts number 1. It certainly hasn't quite survived the shipping. The model. It has kind of fallen out of its frame, but it shouldn't be too difficult. So that's 2. That's where 2 is. So number 1, I presume, should slot into play there. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What? Here you go. Right, 1. That pops out like so. Actually, I presume that's number 10. So 1 goes into. How does this work? So start by 1. So start at 1. Build both engines onto the wing. All right, that's 1. And that's So that slits on like that. All right, let me just get that securely fastened. Come on, there we go. Right, that's 1 done. So I presume then, so yeah, the second engine, that's marked, there you go, no, it is marked as 1, that's fine. So 1 to 2. Right, so now I need to find part 3, which is the engine. Flights, that's the island of St Barts on the left there, so actually you need to start about approach already. Gosh, this is a short little flight. So 3 and 3, that comes out onto that. Slide in like that, or that slide in like that. 3's top, so that goes in like that. Goes there. Finds number 4, so that's the body. These are just scrap bits of wood. Got a scrap pile for this. That's our rear wing. Check later. Propeller goes on later. 9, 10, 11. And part number 4. A stand. The X comes with a stand, doesn't it? That's fine. 2 washers body. Parts number 4. Right, that's the rest of the engine there. So bash, bash, bosh. 3 layers of wood now. That forms the engines. So I sent about 1,500 feet. Decrease throttle slightly. Stop the aircraft from going too fast. Right, hopefully I can at least get the wings done before we land the aircraft. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4's done, and I need to find part number 5, the propellers. I don't actually know the numbers, I'll figure it out later. I presume there's a bit that now fits into the front of the engines. Yes, 5, 6 and 8, that's this bit, and this bit. Full of scrap wood now by the end of this flight. So 5, 6 and 8, I presume. Slides into the front of the engines, yeah, so 5 goes into there. Likewise, 5 on the opposite side goes into there. Like so. Number 6 was part of that. 7, 8, right? 7, 8. Probably break this bit of wood now because it's all scrap. Being mindful that the airport is now just around the corner from me. So 7, 8 and 7, 8. 7, 8 gets positioned. How do I put the propeller in? Is propeller number 7? Propeller is 7, yes, right. So propeller and propeller. So if you put your propeller in and then slide that into the front. Propeller in. Slide that into the front. So the propellers are in. They do spin as well, kind of, so that's quite a nice little detail there. Alright, so that's that. 6 and 6. And they go to the side of the engines, that's fine, so I need that and that. And they go into the side, like so. Exhaust points backwards. It's 1 exhaust and 2 exhaust. Go on the inside, sorry. Whoops. Inside, not the outside. Right, I think this is where I'm going to go. I've got to think about landing our aeroplane. So I'll set a heading now of 033. Switch over to manual heading mode. And let the aircraft make a left-hand turn. It's going on the inside, not the outside. There we go, come out, looking good. Slide that into, there we go, right, so that goes there, and the propeller just goes back into place. Oops, okay, I need to work on that. Right, let me get this aircrane landed, and then let's continue the model very shortly. Alright, keyboard's back in place. Let's go back to our flight. So, in terms of our approach, the runway should just be our right hand side now, so I'm going to kill the throttle. turn off the autopilots. So I press the AP button there, that comes off, so it's on, off, that's fine. Make a right hand turn, just get ourselves pointed towards the runway. So PACX is arriving about 1.5 minutes, we're a little bit behind schedule, but nothing too far behind. Like I said, the Islander is pretty much known for its short landings anyway, so stopping this thing will be one of the easiest things we've ever done. Flying the runway shouldn't be too difficult either, because we've now got a... We've already flown it, yes. Well, it wasn't yes, it was Tuesday we flew here, so we know the runway is. Right, let us go to FlightControlReplay and let us start the recording. So let me just move the wings out of the way, so I'm going to start hitting now with the flight stick. So DHC6 into, this is St Barts. So we'll do the replays at the very end, we'll do both flights, and then replays we'll do at the very end of the stream once we have a chance to land at both airports. The return flight is slightly longer in terms of distance. We do need to fly to depart bear east, sorry, bear north, so left hand turn, and then fly out towards the waypoint on bed. So we do kind of go back on ourselves. So the airport itself is kind of just behind the hill over here. One, that's two for landing, lower the throttle. The aircraft has just departed out of St Barts, so should mean touch and goes. Very good. Because there's an aircraft in the area, but they have now cleared it for us, which means we should be in to land no problem. Keep it steady, keep it steady. It's about 10 degrees pitch down. So what do you think? Islander, a bit easier control for the descent and final landing. What do you think our landing's going to be? Woo! And there's a bit of a wind gust there. Not what I was hoping for this last stage of flights. Right, where's our runway? Oh gosh, I'm flying in the right direction there. Go. Shoot. Bit down the rudder there. Easy stop. There you go, on runway 10. Okay, not as smooth as I was hoping for, I must admit. What was that approach? Not a good one, that's for sure. Instead of coming in from over the roundabout, we did kind of come in slightly from the south there. Not our greatest landing ever, that's for sure. Yeah, it should have been a go Xbox player approach. There, go around was probably the better option on that one. Probably the better option on that one. Right, flaps up, taxi to the gates. Just quickly announce that runway is vacated as soon as you cross the vacation lines. Transponder off. Taxi lights set. Strobes off. Just park up in front of the terminal. Yeah, I think our landing in the Twin Otter certainly have the better effects there. This one not so well ended. Oh well, right. Turn the aircraft around. Hold our position. Set the brakes. And then cut the props. Is off. Nav light steers on, text lights off, generators stay off, and there we have it. Welcome to meters on off, fuel pumps off, valves off, and that is that. Welcome to St Barts. Not the smoothest landing ever, but it will do. It will do for Friday nights. Open the doors. Seatbelts off, and passengers can now disembark the aircraft again. It should take a few seconds there. So let's end the flight after the report. So Whiskey Mike 416, BN2B Islander from Saba to St Barts. 17-minute flight time. Cessna doing its full stop landing. 8 passengers aboard, 90 minute departure time, planned actually departed 19, planned arrival for 85 is a little behind schedule, which isn't too bad. 8 passengers, 86 satisfaction, 259 feet-minute landing rate, and block time 27 minutes. Some extreme flying conditions. That's just the approach into St Barts for you. Well, fair enough. That is the outbound. So what we're going to do now is going to set up our return flight, which is pretty much just the reverse of our inbound. So we're going to change the overlay, change our call sign to Swiss India Alpha 415. Reset IVAO with our new call sign. This is a... that's fine, that's fine. 5, not 4. There we go. Right, so we are going to set up our new navigation. So flight plan, set first wait, well, clear that, clear that. Our departure is now Tango Foxtrot, Foxtrot Juliet, and that. That's our arrive waypoint, Tango November Charlie Sierra, that is fine. So I need to add a new waypoint in between, which is, enter that. Perfect, I'll just replace that. So Tango Foxtrot Juliet changes to on bed. Oscar November, Bravo, Echo, Delta, and that. Just go that second waypoint there, don't need any more. So Barts, on bed, Saba, flight plan complete. That's our flight plan done. Departing traffic left wind. Passengers can now board to start flights. Next page. Swap that around. So that's Tango November Charlie Sierra. Whiskey Mike 415. set that to be even, about 2,000 feet. Don't need any higher than that, to be fair. In fact, screw it, we're at 4,000 feet. Flight time, 15 minutes again on the clock. In fact, that's a longer flight, so put 20 on the clock. Departure in approximately, so I said 45 departures, so we're behind schedule, say 5, 6, 7 minutes. Flying again at the MSFS Islander, this time with only 7 passengers on board. Nothing in terms of amenities, only a bare bones flight. That's going to start boarding. Check our fuel on board, so the required fuel on this is 121 pounds. 1121. Fuel on board this aircraft is 370. Yeah. No, fuel only 53 pounds. In fact, tell a lie. That's the wrong calculation there. I only need about 177. Sorry, 177 will do for us. 176. That'll do fine. Right. So that is fuel on board the aircraft. That's passengers in having now boarded in pre-flights. They're all ready to go. Thank you very much. Score the exits. Got to remember that the Islander is basically like a bus service. You fly from island to island, you board, you disembark, you have about 5 minutes transition, and then you're back in the air for your next leg. So, it's our ATC now for departure. We're going to depart runway 10. Inbound runway 12. And departs left traffic. Taxi-wise, going to taxi down. New flight as well, so new flights, import from that. The alternative, if you can't make it, is Tango Juliet, Sierra Juliet. Aircraft type is a D, that one. And the flight number is Whiskey India 415, I believe. Whiskey India, it is Whiskey Mike, sorry. Whiskey Mike 415. So that is Volanta now ready to go. Overlay is ready to go. Aircraft is ready to go. Taxiing down. Saba, I need St Barts ground charts. Also, as for the Swedish, as I've now come to know, thanks for making the chat last time, the Välkommen Swedish comes down to the fact that this should be a Swedish territory, and the airport's name actually, which is Gustav III, was actually a Swedish king, who was the final king who had been in charge when the territory got transferred over to France. So, that's something I learned in the last stream. Thank you very much, guys. Right, we are going to taxi down for Barts. Holding Alpha, runway 10, perfect. So the aircraft in front of us, they'll be also doing a IFR to IFR, should be not VFR. Well, I don't know, depends how to set the aircraft up, but we'll be flying VFR to Saba. So announce that we are starting engines. Stand 1. So Tango for Juliet traffic. Starting engine. Stand 1. Right, let's do this, shall we? So we're going to turn on our beacon lights, let ground clear engine starts. Back over to the overhead, so sure that our fuel pumps and right hand fuel valves are set. Number 2 magneto. Set the feather to its max. Bring both the fuel back to forward. And engine starboard. Start, or descent, of course. And the gauges, given that we just started flowing in, they should hopefully warm up a little bit quicker. Yeah, that'll be no problem for us. Right, 10% throttle. Number 1 meter starts. Number 2 set. Fuel valve pump set, and port engine starts. Push the gauges. Set both generators to on and on. Traffic sounds position 1 for takeoff. Nito 1 on, and set our taxi lights to on. Let's now start taxi attention, shall we? So taxi runway, holding point Alpha. Elaine, it's been a while, man. It's been a while. How are you doing, dude? There's a Boeing 747 that's just departing from Juliana. We may better spot them on the way out. Although they're already up to 7,000 feet, so they're not higher than we'll be reaching this flight, that's for sure. Should we be looking at the back of your head for realism? True, that is certainly why you're sitting on the island up. It's from your point of view. Right. Now, fingers crossed the takeoff is a little smoother this time. As I'm landing at Saba, that really needs to take the cake on this flight today. So I'm going to check our messages. Right, so the aircraft there is holding short for traffic pass through. Thank you. Passing for runway 0. Hold position. Do a quick visual for any inbound aircraft, which at the moment I see, well, I can't really see anything inbound from this point, but no one's inbound, not on ATC, the radar inbound. Yeah, looks pretty clear from my position, so we'll set the takeoff lights to on, strobes lights to on, and that's our lining up and taking off. Transponder mode to Charlie. Let's enter ourselves onto the runway. So it's not Unicom 122-800, so I don't think there's going to be any in this flight today at all. How did I send to record this morning? Didn't record any recordings this morning, Andy, because I got these messages on the Discord when I was already at work, so it'll be tomorrow morning. I'll be doing the recordings if all goes to plan. To catch a train 10 minutes to work. Right, hold the brakes, increase throttle. Bring both engine RPM to green. Press the brakes, so you're going. .40 knots, airspeed live. 60 knots, 80 knots, rotates. Starts a left-hand turn. So when we flew down the 20 knots last time, making the right turn was actually incorrect. All traffic needs to depart left downwind. Ooh, cruise ship. Yes, that's where I got thrown off there. My approach was facing the cruise ship, and realised I actually slightly off-centred the runway. It's not an easy airport to spot. We're climbing to an altitude of 4,000, which will form our cruise for this trip. Thank you very much to Dan there for the £4.10. Hello, Drawyah, keep the good work. Thank you very much, dude. Thank you very much. You are a superstar. A superstar. Thank you very much. let us bring the aircraft onto the autopilot, nav mode set, altitude climb to level 4000 at a rate of 800 feet per minute. Then throttle slightly, not too much. And let us now continue with our model creation. I've slightly nicked one of the engines there, so I need to glue that later with PVA glue, which is not too bad for a wooden model, I guess. Right, so back to our model creation, I guess. What number did we get to? I honestly cannot remember. It was number 6, so next 7 was done, which means we should now be looking for parts number 8. I don't know what happened there. No reason to. Stop throwing your money at me. Thank you very much. Again, you are a superstar. Thank you very, very much. Right, let's carry on our build, shall we? Yeah, just like this as well. I'll do a remedial over it as well just later on, make sure everything is also secure in place. So yeah, that engine I have slightly, this engine here, sorry, I have slightly buggered. It's a very, it's a nice model. I say I'm scared to put too much pressure onto it because it is just balsa-wood, very, very fiddly. Do all this. Right, I guess engines completed. That one I'll glue. I've got glue in my. Yeah, I've got glue. Perfect. I'll use this later on just to secure it once I've done all the busy pushing a bit. So that also pushed aside. Right. What's next? So I've done the engines. Are there any more numbers? Because the actual body itself, these are numbered. So that will be done. I've got some spare parts as well, which was handy. These, I presume, are wheels. I can't just come off that, so we still need to do the landing gear set up. This part of the stand. So let me see, what parts do I need? This is now complete, so I don't need this bit anymore. This is just scrap wood, scrap wood. This is part of the stand, so I break off the excess, and then that's to the side. Also, I am fat-fingered, so definitely, God. Never been a strong point to model building for me. Which is a shame, because I really enjoy building models. I just not ruining all of them. Same as I've got some of the Airfix kits, but I haven't built as many of them because scared I'll damage them. Airfix kits ain't cheap. Right, so, done that bit, now move on to the landing gears again. This I presume is, yes, spare wood, some more blocks, and no numbers or labels on them, so that's all spare. This is spare, this is spare, this is spare, that's a wheel, spare, spare, spare. Spare. This parts numbers 9, 10 and 11, so I'll secure that. So if I have the numbers out in front of me, it'll be very handy. So another 9, 10, 11. Out later. It's fine. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 wheels. That's correct. Spare. That is spare. That's stand. That stand. That is spare. Cool. So, base landing gear is part number 10, which means we put one wheel in. What are we building? I'm building an Islander. Dan. So a mate of mine drops me a little package a couple of days ago. It's like, hey dude, here you go, build this. And so putting together this little Islander. So I presume I'd want the wheels to be visible on the outside, so I push this now through, and then use the other wheel to secure the other side. That's one wheel now done. Same for the other side. That goes through like, oops, very folded down, put a wheel then. So a wheel pushes through, then goes to the wood, and the other wheel on the other side. Perfect, so we've got two wheels in place now. So I need to glue the prow a little bit, so apart from that, everything else is in position without too many problems. Right, what's next? That is spare, that is spare. There's Saba in front of us, so certainly coming to view. Right, so we've done the landing gear, which puts that now done. So, next is the body. So we'll take the main portions out. Spare wood, that goes there. That's there. That goes there. That comes out. Keep the branding a little bit. These are spare, so I'll put it to one side. This is spare wood. So you've got two washers. The washers needs to hold together the centre of the aircraft, I believe. This is secure, is it? Lighting, I think these actually do come out. I'll leave them for now. I'll see how that fits together later. So I need to now fit A to A. That's B. That's D. That's so that's C and D. So that's C. C B A E D. Ah. Oh, I see. I see how this works. So A goes in the middle like such. That's what upside down, so the lettering doesn't become visible. So A in the middle. I need to drop B. Oh, yes, that's spare. That comes off, and that comes off. B slides on. D slides on like such. And then it was two outer bits, so that kind of slides on like this, holes inside the holes, put them in afterwards, right? So these go into these holes here. Like these holes just aren't too... Okay, I'll do it the other way around. So that goes like that. Right, that fits that way around, so I'll have to use it that way around. Middle goes in the middle. Outer goes in the outer. That fits like so. And then B goes into the B slots. And then D goes into the D slots. Tight, but I can see how this works. Because the metal washers kind of counteract the weight for each other. But then the wing on top should, in theory, slot into the holes. Should. Right, I've got rear wings. This needs to be removed like such. And this goes into, it goes like that. So what secures the rear of the aircraft on I? That goes there. Ah, right. So this comes in. A little piece here. I believe This is 3 width, yes. Because it's balsa wood, it's slightly flexible. And therefore, it does push that's why I give us spare parts. Oh boy. Yeah, this is probably the tightest bit in time model there. Let's try the other way. So that goes in like that. Which goes in like that. Which goes in like that. Perfect. So that's the rear of the airplane now secure. These are the rear wings that are going to fit into J, so that will slide in like that will do at the end. So the wings should now fit onto the top of the aircraft like that, which, if you've done it correctly, a little bit of pushing, yes, I thought I broke it for a second there, but no, there you go. That sits like that. And J sits into the back of the aeroplane like that. And then finally, oh, no need, that's it. That's the model Islander complete. So if I were to just quickly move the camera, oops. Yes, that kind of sits above like that. Tail base sits like that. So you can see. So it's sort of on this front. So you've got your front landing gear in place, with the rear landing gear in place as well. It's quite a neat little model, that. So all that's left for me to do now is to build the stand. We'll do that though once we land at Saba, which is approximately 4 minutes once passengers. So keyboard back, drop the camera, and let's start our descent to lower altitudes. Altitude set sends rate of 600 feet per minute. Lower the throttle, and just maintain our speed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly just see if I can PVA the engines back into place. A little bit fat fingered there. Knocked out one of the blades. So this bit's which one's that one? This is the spinny bits that goes there. Nice keyboard, thanks Kendall. Not quite as clicky as the mouse, but it does the job for me. Sure, how does this go? Sorry. Well, that's that blade there. This will in the bits. Right, hang on, that one's glued in place. Right, autopilot's off. I'm in control. Let's make a left-hand turn and prepare ourselves for a landing. So yeah, the airport is a little bit to my right, it's just down below there. So a quick loop and prepare ourselves for landing. It's a model plane, Danish noob, yes. It's a model Islander, as we're flying the Islander right now. So yes, we're flying a model Islander. We're flying an Islander, building a model Britten-Norman Islander. Although I'm being fat-fingered, I have slightly damaged on the propellers, so I'm making a small repair job to it as we circle into land. If we just glue that into place as well. And then all that's left me to do when on the ground is to put up the stand. It's a delicate little model, this. Probably a bit too delicate for me. But it is a sweet, sweet little thing, I cannot deny. PVA glue in place, that will now set. I'm coming into runway 12. Should tell light, I'm coming in 30. Yeah, so we're coming in runway 30 ourselves. Throttle slightly, continue left hand turn, prepare ourselves for a landing. Tell you what, no, we'll go 30 side. Don't it's all Dan. Like I say, I'm not begging you to throw your money at me. Anything you have done, dude, is more than appreciated. Thank you very much. Like I say, you are a superstar because you've done it so many times now. You've just thrown like 10 quid at me to go. Say it's more than I expect, dude. You are a superstar. Don't at all feel bad about not donating any more because you've donated more than ever expect. Right, so loads of altitude. I'm coming now from the 30 side. Everything to land, so keep it nice and low. No need to climb any more. Which is quite a low altitude airport this, and there's no massive hill in the way, so we should get a nice visual approach in without too many mishaps on landing. So we'll get a low flyby over Saba, which of course was part of the plan. Good luck. Don't need luck, dude. Flying prowess and skill. We'll see where that goes later. Right, so we'll make a left-hand turn now. Flaps for landing. Running on 4K diode, so I'm streaming at 1440p, but for my actual system, I'm going to get this at 4K. Now short final for Saba. Yeah, we are aligning now, Eleni. Going to the runway now. Also, as I'm wearing a green shirt, the green screen's actually starting to fade away now. Whoops. It's a bit too low. Mr. No, we're not really descending at the moment. Across more than a level at this point. Keep it steady though. Some small gusts of wind we are fighting. Oh, well, we are actually. Is not along the runway. Hard the brakes. And there you have it. What can you say? Hefty touchdowns at both ends, but given the length of the runway we're dealing with, can't say much about that, can I? I'll accept. I will accept. I think you're close there. -2, -300. Again, these kinds of airports, you don't really come for the softer touchdowns. The firmer you touch, the more speed you lose, and potentially the easier it is to land. So, exit to the left, park the aircraft, where we started off an hour and 12 minutes ago. Presuming, of course, oh, stand hasn't been nicked. Okay, standby it is. Just park off to the left slightly. So there's a helipad. Right, our position, parking brakes set, and let me shut down our engines. So these just come down, that comes down. Going to kill our generators, kill the fuel pumps and valves, magnetos off, and that is that. Welcome back to Saba. Not bad, eh? Not bad at all. So open the doors, that passenger starts disembarking. Thank you for flying with us today. We've been superstar passengers. Yeah, I like my Islander. I'm not the best to fly it in the world, but it is a very hands-on, hearty aircraft. This, I do adore it. Right, so let us see what sign that passengers now leave the aeroplane. Going to end the flight after report. So WM415 BN2B Islander from St Barts to Saba, 22-minute flight time, plan departure 51, plan arrival 10, arrival 14, 7 passengers, satisfied 96, landing rate 242, and box time of 29 minutes. Yeah, it's a quick little flight, hitting any water, there's any service this flight I'm afraid. But not bad that. Again, not the smoothest landings in the world, but not a terrible flight. Right, I've got one bit to figure out now in this model, which is the stand. There's one bit I think I'm not missing, but right, Smite Lima Kilo. Looking at this. Ah, hang on. Is that Foxtrot at the back there? The answer is... see, where is piece F? I can't find that. I see M. Did I have a path? I might go through the path again in a bit just to double check if I didn't miss anything out. But what I cannot find is an F. A, B, C, D, E, G. I can see G. Golf. Mike, Mike, Mike. There may be one more bit I need to fish out. But F. I can't find. It's not a rudder, is it? Shouldn't be. No, because the rudder's built into the actual wooden model. Look at the image. It doesn't show the. Is that the roof? Right, so that probably should have been in place before I put the wings on. Essentially, this should just slide on. Yeah, I can probably deal with that still. I'm going to remove the wings. Sit. Yeah, I need to read that, that's fine. Right, F goes down here. I think it does. Certainly fits the bit. The problem is the wooden splinter kind of gets in the way. Doesn't quite insert all the way down. Quite funny, I think the marketing image just shouldn't even fit either. And it does kind of. Yeah, it's the right place for it. Gotcha. I think. Nearly. There we go. Right, roof's in place, I think. Pen to secure that. It's tough to roll this. Gotcha, right, that's in. So that's now in secure in place. That's secured in place, which means I can put the wings back on now. Preferably the right way around. Clicks, thank you very much. Right, so now how does the stand work? I'm going to guess. Does it really sit on anything like that? So what's this bit for? This bit I cannot tell. I think it's it looks like a stand, but it doesn't really do anything. Not centered either. I'll figure out what the stand does, but if I now bring up the model cam again, Just make that a bit bigger. What we now have is, yeah, I'll figure out the propellers in a minute. But what I now have is a fully completed model of a Britten-Norman Islander. Pain to put together, but I think that's quite a sweet little thing, that. Right, well, thank you very much, dude. I'll drop you a message in a little bit. Yeah, so the propellers, I'll let the glue settle on that overnight. I've not nicked anything else, have I? The answer is no. It was just that one propeller I'd nicked. Should have front of the window cowling as well. So we're going to do a good propeller into that position. So you go there. Into that, and then this should just sit in the space. So I do apologise for slightly damaging it. I am fat fingered, but this is a superb little model. It will sit on my shelf of little airplane models. We have to do the propeller blades in a minute. Right, that goes there. Clear up the glue. Yeah, thank you very much, dude. I like that. Now, let's watch some replay, shall we? What's that? That's just a little bit of splintering, is it? Yeah, just a bit of splintering. It's a bouncewood model, so they are flimsy little things, but when laser cut, this one is, it does look rather good. You figure out what part M is as well. Wait, M. M? Ah, I got it now, I think. Is there two parts to M? Am I missing a part of the stand? No, that's it's like that. There you go. Little stand for it. Not sure about the angle, I must admit, but this little Islander. Little stand. There you go. Oh, I like that. Chuff, thank you very much. I'm gonna sit on the shelf and enjoy that. Right, close the doors. And let's look at some replays. So we start off with our St Barts landing. So distance from IVAO. Finish recording the flight on Volanta. That's all grand. Finish recording the replay on that. Let's load up St Barts and let's look at how the landing went to play. So it wasn't the best landing in the world and the approach was horrible. Yeah, this should have been the go-around. I'm not going to deny that at all. This should have been a go-around. I was foolish to land this. Yeah, I think I must know about the stand. I was foolish to land this one. Set in the background streams maybe. Problem is I don't have quite a background for it. Yes, I don't have a suitable background to put it on. Yeah, definitely a bit of a later bank there. Bit of power just to keep the aircraft from touching down too hard. Still a rough touchdown, but and yeah, we did go a little bit off the runway because I was too late on kicking the runs. Yeah, this landing was bad in pretty much every level, from runway alignment to keeping the flaps too late, to the point of actually leaving the runway. This was a bad landing in every single regard. Can't deny that. This would have been my licence lost. At this point I realised, oh no, I'm not quite aligned the runway. So it's the last minute adjustments that shouldn't have been made there. We didn't actually hit anything. To be fair, as a correction, it wasn't the worst correction in the world. Problem is, it's just too close to the runway. 10 degrees down, of course, as we hit the final of the runway. Kick the throttle, stop while touching down too hard, and then plop. And then yeah, we do nick the grass on the left gear there. We do nick the grass. Could have been worse, could have gone off running the runway and crashed, but not good. The view to really see this actually would be the kind of the plane spotter view that we all know from St Barts. We took ourselves on the runway, or the end of the runway, or the hill even. Here you go. So this is the bit you come to view and spot at St Barts. And all of a sudden, whoops! Follow me apparently. Yeah, this is the view bit. Hear the airplane coming in, but all of a sudden, boom! It's overhead. Yes, not a good landing that. And yeah, we do leave. Not good, not good. I've certainly done better at St Barts. I mean, the altitude's a bit high as well, but everything, no. Don't deny that. A go around was pretty much an option for that one, and I did not do it to the extent. Saba, on the other hand, hopefully a bit more on our side. So, if we go to the passenger view, start off with the right-hand view, which is the more fancy view of all the cliffs and rocks. Welcome Sunny, how you doing? Could have ended the fishes. Could have, generic. That was not a good landing from me there. Not one of my better ones. Not one of the better ones. Move that view. Yep. Yeah, that was bad. Can't even deny that. I can't even defend it. That was just a bad landing. Saba on your hand. That was pretty much expertly done. That. There's his touchdown. Hit the brakes. Just hold the aircraft before it goes off the other end. Saba, of course, not being a runway that bad of an approach. Certainly a short runway, but heavy and steady. Apart from the fact you're approaching a cliff wall, the approach itself ain't too bad. It's just like not approaching a runway. Some gusts of winds, some turbulence, but it's certainly manageable. Stick ourselves kind of off the runway side. So go to free cam. Drone cam, follow mode off. I'm going to do a long haul flight. It's going to take off now, wake up tomorrow at 8 and there's no chance for some crash, but oh well. If you've got Volanta dudes to fly, autosave, 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 autosave. Always handy that. Right, here's landing from the runway perspective. Just see how short this runway is. Again, the Islander is known for its superb landing capabilities, and yeah, it was a touchdown pretty much using none of the runway in any of its course. So, there you have it. No, like I say, not the best flight in the world. The return flight wasn't too bad. This is a bit we're interested in, but the outbound could have been better. I think I was a bit too distracted by the little model here, my little Islander. But hey ho, I do I do like this little thing. It is a sweet little gift, so I'll drop a message to my friend very shortly, so thank you. And yeah, I'll do a quick job on the wings. So do a good job on the propeller, and then stick it on the old shelf to sit there and look good, pretty much. So I might just tighten the engine a little bit. Yeah, that'll be alright. Ah, hang on, that's where it came from. If I do that, that goes like that. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, so there you go. Little under model as we fly the taxi Islander back to the stand. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for taking part. Back again tomorrow with some more jetliners. So we'll put the small prop aircraft a little bit of a rest. We'll do one stream in Microsoft Flight Sim, on stream next plane, just kind of bounce out of the way a bit. So we'll do 737 flight maybe tomorrow, and then on Sunday we'll do an A320. Other than that, thank you for watching, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon for some more Microsoft Flight Sim action. Take care guys, have a good one, and have a good weekend too. Bye bye.